Okay, I am trying to get this video posted by 3 p.m. on July 15th, 2022. Right about the same time my dad will be wrapping up his last day of work ever. After 41 years of service at Girard College, where he's worn just about every hat on the hat rack, from barber to house parent to technology director to residential dean to haunted house scaremeister to cable network provider to coffee shop owner to scout chairman to whatever this is. After over 4 decades of making a mark on the lives of hundreds, nay thousands of young men and women, Keith Evan Steininger is retiring. Or is he? Let me show you something. My dad made me this little wood ferry boat for my Hot Wheels cars when I want to say I was like 5 years old.
So you load them into the boat, shut the gates, and sail us to Pikachu Island.
Off to Pikachu Island. For a 5th grade social studies project, he helped me with a diorama about different Native American tribes, and he made these little miniatures. This is a animal skin stretched out on a drying rack. We built this dining table together. He built this beautiful planter for me and my wife, and those garden boxes over there. He made a pie box. What's up, Derek?
Hey, what's going on, bro?
Do you remember the pie box?
The pie box. Oh my gosh, yes. The one that looked like, the pies that you get from Burger King,
Yeah, you had like an obsession with like Burger King pies. I forget the setup. Why was he making a pie box?
It could have been just something random, even a comment or something that was made or whatever. Him being him, and the gestures that he does, ways to show his creativity and just never ceasing to amaze you with the things that he does and wows you. But I don't know if you remember, but even when I was recording my album and did a little concert at Girard, he turned it into something incredible. Like he had the stage built, he brought the sound system, the lighting, like he turned it into a real concert, and I couldn't believe it. Like he did that. Wow, he's something else.
An important thing to understand is he's not a trained woodworker or a carpenter or anything like that. He's just really handy. Here's something else he built. And he doesn't reserve his talent for family. He uses it to make other people feel like family. Can you tell us about the bed Dad made for you and your brother?
Everyone on campus was privileged to know Mr. S, know Mrs. S, but they also opened up their home to us. And Mr. S went above and beyond in building this bunk bed desk arrangement. He sort of asked us what we wanted the room to look like, and he just went above and beyond and made something so amazing and so perfect for the space. Just provided so much for us, and we're grateful.
But this isn't a video about my dad. It's about a philosophy of work and life that he's been teaching me. And I'm not sure he even realizes he's been doing it. What he's been demonstrating naturally in the course of his life, author Dan Miller describes pretty well in 48 Days to the Work and Life You Love. In this book, Miller explains the difference between vocation, a career, and a job. And it's so important to know the difference. A job is something that you do. You have a skill set, hopefully, or you're developing one, and you leverage it. You put it to work. You show up, fulfill your duty, and you call it a day. A job can last a few hours, or a few years, or even longer, but typically it's a smaller component of a larger framework that is your career path. People change and grow and hopefully have access to promotions and some other way to progress towards a larger goal. If a job is the clothes that you put on today, a career is your wardrobe, your style, and that can also change over time. Sometimes people don't move on the same line. They'll move from one industry sector to something entirely different, even go back to school and learn a new trade, seemingly start from scratch. And that makes no sense at all if your career was the end-all, be-all definition of who you are. But I think we know there's something a little bit bigger. Just like a job is a smaller component of a career is a smaller piece of the larger framework that is your whole life, specifically your vocation, or let's call it calling. In fact, vocation comes from the Latin word vocare, which means to call. A career is still too small a container to fit all of the seemingly disjointed skills and talents and trivial interests that get woven together during the course of your life. This is your calling, the greater purpose God has put on your heart, the thing that gives your work deeper meaning. If a job is just a pair of socks and a career is your wardrobe, then calling is your swagger, the way you walk, the way you move through life. It's who you are at your very core. It might take people a while to discover their calling, not until they've lived several years and they look back and start to see patterns emerge. Some people might never find the thread. It might not present itself very clearly because we're not listening to it. We're so busy and distracted by the other two things, trying to find the right job that's going to help us advance in our career. Some people are so fixated, just grinding away at the 50,000 tasks on your to-do list, trying to do the right thing to get the right recognition and maybe get a promotion, to move one step ahead on your career game board. And then we lose sight that the career is just a small part of who we are. But if you know, really know, who you are, what you're about, and who you're about, most of the other stuff will fall into place naturally. And that's what my dad figured out. He knows he's been called to show fatherly love to kids who might not otherwise get to experience that, to go above and beyond, to let other people know that they are cared for and they have potential. And he does this for students, his colleagues, and other people that just cross his path, because it's not just contained to his workplace.
And I think that was just him in general with anything that you or I had an interest in. You know, he would put his all into it too. He was our champion.
Whether he was running a rec center, running a kid to the ER, or running Cat5 cable through a sewer, he knew that ultimately it was all serving a greater purpose. And that's why he was able to switch hats, switch roles as frequently as he could and still stay on track, stay on mission, even during periods of deep disappointment and frustration and setbacks. Despite the challenges, the shakeups with different jobs, nobody could take away his calling. We threw a surprise retirement party for my dad a couple weeks ago. It was small and casual. We had it outside. The weather was amazing. About 50 people showed up from all corners and graduating classes, some co-workers, some of his old students. He said,
if I was planning my own retirement party, this is exactly what I would have put together.
He also said he was proud to be just a small part of the transformative work that was being done at Girard College. But for so many people, Girard College was just a small piece of the transformative work being done by him through his above and beyond love for others, through his commitment to his calling. And that's something he will never retire from. There's a lot that you and I can gain by examining and celebrating a career well served and a calling well heeded. Listen for yours. And then do what it takes. Boldly pursue the career paths or build your own thing that aligns with your calling. Joyously take on different job opportunities, even some of the nutty ones, because they'll help you develop the skills and experience to make you more valuable and effective for the sake of your calling.